Hello there everybody. Today I'm going to read you a story called Scritch Scratch. It's by Miriam Moss and Delphine Durand. I wonder if you know what it's about. Can you see any little creatures in here? I think you might know what it's about. Nits, lice, scritch, scratch. One day, a tiny insect, no bigger than a small freckle, climbed into Miss Calypso's classroom. Nobody noticed. Miss Calypso went on calling the register. Ruby undid Polly's plait. Joshua drew on Winston's back. And Simon trimmed Kareem's fringe. The little louse had no wings, but she had 6 strong legs, and she climbed straight into the spelling ship above Miss Calypso's head. There's the little louse. What a wonderful view! Miss Calypso's cascading curls, short crops, matted mops, tufty tops, plaits, ponytails, pigtails, even a frizzy wig on the skeleton in the corner. The little louse closed her eyes and held her breath and fell through the air. Whee! It didn't matter where she landed. Any head would be the perfect home. And the perfect home she landed on was... Which head is this little louse going to land on? This head? Or this head? Or this head? Miss Calypso. Whee! The little louse got to work straight away, sticking one tiny egg to each hair on Miss Calypso's head. There she is. She hummed a happy tune. There's Miss Calypso scratching. Oh, no one knows from where I came. A nip and nibbler with no name. Well, watch the creatures scritch and scratch when my creepy crawly family hatch. Yee-haw! Before long, the creepy crawly family did hatch, and they climbed into Miss Calypso's cascading curls. Scritch Scratch went Miss Calypso. praising Polly's pirate picture. Scamper, scamper went the little head lice, dancing down Polly's plait. From then on, whenever two heads touched, lots of little head lice moved home. Scritch Scratch went Polly, playing with Ruby's hair. Scamper, scamper went the head lice. Scritch Scratch went Joshua, drawing on Winston's back. Scamper, scamper went the head lice. Scritch Scratch went Simon, trimming Kareem's fringe. Scamper, scamper went the head lice. In no time at all, the little lice all had perfect homes of their very own. And that was when Mr. Trout, the headmaster, strode in.
"May I have a word with you, Miss Calypso?" he asked.
Miss Calypso agreed to meet him in the lunch hour to discuss the scritching problem. That night, Mr. Trout sent emails home to all the parents.
"Dear parents, please comb special conditioner into your children's hair and make it so slippery that all the head lice slide into the bath water and float away."
The next day, the conditioned and combed children returned to school. There was not a single louse in sight. They had all gone. Well, all except for one. The little louse was still on Miss Calypso. You see, Miss Calypso lived alone. She had no one to help condition and comb her hair. "Oh," hummed the little louse, who was now a grandmother. "No one knows from where I came, a nibbler with no name. But watch the creatures scritch and scratch when my creepy crawly family hatch. Woo-hoo!" Scritch Scratch went Miss Calypso. Scamper, scamper went the head lice. And soon the whole class was scritching and scratching again. Oh dear. The parents do not look happy. Once again, Mr. Trout went to see Miss Calypso. And there, in the little room where cups of tea are made, Mr. Trout found himself offering to wash Miss Calypso's hair for her. That night, while Mr. Trout conditioned and combed Miss Calypso's hair, they fell in love. He fell in love with her cascading curls, and she fell in love with his moustache. So Mr. Trout and Miss Calypso got married. And now, if you look into Mrs. Trout's classroom, what do you see? Mrs. Trout still calls the register. Ruby still undoes Polly's plait. Joshua still draws on Winston's back. And Simon still trims Kareem's fringe. There is not a scritch or a scratch to be heard. But there is a faint hum from the classroom next door. Oh, no one knows from where I came, a nit and nibbler with no name. But I watch the teacher scritch and scratch when my creepy crawly family hatch. Yee-haw! The end.